living room.
And the bathroom.
What up?
Well, we're back after our last episode in the same room that didn't go very well.
I wasn't feeling it. I was tired.
Yeah, we were so tired. But here we are. We're
I
back
just
at it.
ate ice cream and now I got fuzzy bunny slippers on my teeth. I fixed it. Everything's fine.
I did just brush my teeth before we came on here. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to brush them. It was a brush moment. They needed, you know what? Maybe I need a little lip color. Maybe I should do a little lippage, you know?
So
Welcome everybody in here. I'm going to do a little soulmate, Morphe soulmate. Mm-hmm.
I'm doing some research.
Okay. There we go.
Da, 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 da.
Now I don't feel so bald. I mean, I do, but not at the same time. Happy ladies. Hey, ladies. Hi. Hello. Welcome in, everyone.
Jesus, sorry.
Everyone, welcome in.
I'm doing research for our topic. So she's saying hello.
What was in your
God,
mouth?
I look so good today.
She ate ice cream. I like the hat.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Maddox laughed at me when I first showed it to him, but I think it's because I've never worn a hat like this ever.
Mm-hmm.
I wear beanies. That's like the only hat I wear in the winter.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't. And so he's like, it's a cowboy hat. I'm like, no, it's not. Cowboy hats go like this.
Yeah.
I had to show him. I was like, no, they go like
That's
this.
It's like a beach hat.
It is.
Yeah.
I bought it for the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's cute.
I should have got a small.
Yeah, it looks nice on you.
I thought I had a big head, but I got a medium, but like it's super loose. So when the wind blows, it just fucking.
You have a little head. Let's compare.
I thought I had a big head.
No, I have a massive head. That's why I don't wear it. That's why I don't wear hats.
Know that, I guess.
Yeah. That's why I don't wear hats. I make them. I don't wear them. Hey, girl. Hey. What's up, love? How are you? Come back to Texas. We did have a good time. It was a good time. It was a good visit.
I'm looking this up. Somebody sent us an email
about
a topic.
I finally got caught up on some emails, and I picked two that were on there. One was based, wanted us to touch on how we handle internet bullies due to an influencer who just unfortunately took her life due to bullying on the internet, from what we know. And then the other topic was someone wrote out about their own personal life, but kind of wanted to touch on when you're with someone and you break up and you remain friends, and this person's remained friends with their ex, and the ex got with somebody and they were starting to have problems, and she was thoroughly enjoying the downfall of the ex because she wanted her to feel the pain that so we're going to top on that. Probably not the way that she wants us to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it in the most realistic way that
Which one should we do first? I'm not too thrilled about the last one that you just talked to. I got to be honest with you. I'm just being.
I think that's the one we'll talk about the most. So.
Oh, you will?
I mean,
okay.
I don't know if it's, or we can knock that one out first. You want to knock that one
first? Love that you and I are on opposite ends, because that's what a good podcast needs.
Yeah. I don't know if we're on opposite ends of it, though.
But I mean, like, as far as like, I'm more interested in the first topic about how you handle internet bullies versus this whole ex fiasco bullshit drama.
Oh, I like both topics. I think they're both great topics.
Them both too. I'm just saying I would rather spend more time on the internet bullies.
Yeah. Oh, no, we can't. I don't think there's much to talk about with the second one that we talked about, only because my point of view is pretty shortcut and to the point.
So is mine. And again, guys, we are not professionals. You email us like ideas, we give you our opinions.
Yes. And some people emailed about GLP-1s, but I answered those direct. They weren't really a topic conversation. Thanks for those who reached out on those, but they weren't really like a topic. Y'all were just asking for advice or direction. And then, of course, there are some that are extremely personal and very devastating and intense to read that I will not address on the live stream because we are not professionals. Therefore, we will not speak on it. But we did get a question on EMDR, which we'll cover in a different. I have to send that.
That was so sexy.
I'll have to send that one to Tiff.
That one is for me.
Yeah, because I can't speak on that. I've never been to therapy. So, I mean, I have, but not that therapy. So, but the first one we're going to talk about, anyways, how's the chat? How is everybody? Hello, welcome in. Hi. And being accused of, and so anyways, we're going to talk about the first one. I don't remember the lady's name that sent it, but they wanted us to address. So go ahead and speak on who it was, Tiff. You did the research on it.
So this is actually, I heard about this before we got the email, but I hadn't done like a whole bunch of
I hadn't either.
Research on it. But anyway, so it's Michaela Raines, and she actually, her and her husband ran like a fox sanctuary.
Yeah.
And in a nutshell, again, information that I'm getting is just online. So this has not been fact checked. It is not, I'm not sure, like, to what level. But one thing that is factual is that she took her own life because of a handful of things, mostly the bullshit and bullying that she was getting online. From what I'm reading here, it was actually one of the biggest ones was through Reddit.
Oh yeah, Reddit's vicious.
Reddit is totally vicious. And here's the thing, I guess I don't understand Reddit enough because as a content creator, I'm not going on Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hurt my own fucking feelings because there are going to be people that I have blocked, people that I have said things to, people who know me from my past who don't like me, like before I did this. There's so many things. And then you have all of these unhealed people. Because why? Why do you even do that to somebody? Like, you can have your opinion about people, but to go to that length, to go on a platform like Reddit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know enough about Reddit. To me, it just seems like everything I've heard about it is negative. But anyway, so Reddit ended up, they did ban, I guess, are they groups? You know more about.
Yeah, they're like threads. They're like subthreads. Like you have channels, kind of like there's a lot of good information on Reddit. Like anytime you search something on the internet, first thing it's going to take you to is a forum. They're forums.
Okay.
But for content creators, I got introduced into Reddit when I was live streaming, okay, on TikTok, and it was vicious. I don't know the amount of people who try to rip down my platform on Reddit, and I'm like, majority of the time, it's people who hear things word to mouth from a content creator they love, whatever the case may be, and then it just does this, and then people assume, and then it can get pretty nasty. I've gotten great information off Reddit, but I don't have a Reddit account anymore, and I don't go to Reddit for content people or gossiping. I go like I have this bug bite or blah, 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 and like what's the best whatever, and it'll automatically Google takes you to a Reddit forum every single time.
Yeah, and I see that too, and that's different. But like, I don't have a Reddit account. And I just have no interest in that because as a content creator myself, it's like one of the things that we can start answering about the question how you deal with bullies online is one of the things is having the knowledge of like where, I guess, if you think about it, bullies unite. And I just steer clear of those places because I have no interest in defending myself with them. I have no interest in reading what they say about me, and I don't care. So like, I really don't care what they have to say. I don't. Yeah. Because if you have to go to like a whole different forum or even people who create these like Mama Tot, for an example, where they create these pages for the sole purpose of hating on her. Right.
Yeah, a lot of people have them.
Yeah, and it's not just Mama Tot. I'm just using her as an example. Yeah. Like there's so many, and I'm like, if you are that obsessed, because to me it's an obsession. I'm not saying you have to like that person. I'm not saying that you have to condone what they're doing online, what they're promoting. I'm not saying any of that. You can have your opinion, but like to go to that extreme, right? And then here's something else I want you guys to know about this woman, and this just shows too. You know that saying, you never know what somebody's dealing with, blah, 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 behind the camera. Okay. Yeah. So it says here that, so Reddit has officially banned the snark subreddit title, Save a Fox Snark. So it was a whole, what is it? Subreddit? Is that what they call them? Whatever. Yeah, so it was a whole thing where people were just like destroying her. Okay. Yeah. And it said that they did target the YouTuber. Michaela had been dealing with various severe mental illnesses at the time, which she was very open about, including depression, autism, and borderline personality disorder before her death.
Yeah.
I don't know how these people sleep at night.
I
really don't, because I don't care how involved you were. I don't care if you started the thread. I don't care if you just posted once. I don't care. If you contributed to any of that bullying, I don't know how you sleep at night. I really don't. And stories like this make me, look, I'm getting goosebumps, make me happy that I did the work that I did so that I'm able to make, I guess, informed decisions and healthy decisions about what I will and won't do online, but also being able to recognize that the people that come at you, and content creators are not the only ones who get this shit. Kids in school, that's why I don't allow my kids to have social media. While they're in junior high and high school, depending on, situations. My son just barely, my oldest, got Instagram because he's almost 18. But I just don't allow those because you're so impressionable, right? When you're a teenager anyway. But it's like you just fall victim to bullying. If somebody takes an embarrassing picture of you and then posts it, and then everybody in school or your coworkers, or like it's not just influencers. So I actually appreciated this girl who sent that email asking about that. And I can sum it up pretty simply of how I deal with bullies. I just don't. I don't ignore them either. If they cross a line about things where it's like about my kids, or how that one time somebody, a couple of people said that they hoped that I relapsed, right? Or, that I unalived myself. I had a chick, just a few weeks back, who told me she hoped that I unalived myself. I don't even respond. I just delete and block, delete. Yeah. Whichever order it needs to come in, whatever platform you're on. Because I'm not going to waste my time yelling at somebody. They don't even know me. Mm-hmm. They don't know me. And that shit to me is off. I don't know. How do I explain this, friend? It's like, I'm not in any danger of that type of depression to where I would even read that and be like, hey, I'm going to go relapse, or I'm going to go hurt myself. But there's been times in my life where I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't as healthy as I am now, but you think about all the other people on this public account that can read that might be. Yeah. And so I'm just going to ignore it and delete it. But when it comes to little shit like yesterday, the live that I had, some asshat, Ethan with an A. That's how I remember. What the fuck names their kid Ethan with an A? But here we are. He was born to be a dick, right? So anyway, he came in my live and was like, "Are you on drugs? Are you on cocaine?" I'm like, "Yep, absolutely." And so, sure am. But it's like, and he just kept going and going. And it's like I say all the time. When I first started my pages, I don't think. I actually know a lot of the things that people said to me got to me and hurt my feelings. But when I started this page by accident, by the way, I never planned on it getting to where it's at. I was also very vulnerable. I still had postpartum depression. I had not stopped drinking. I binge drank on the weekends. I was miserable. And so any, oh, look how fat she is, or God, she looks tired, or she's ugly, or I got all that shit. One guy was like, her titties are saggy. And I was like, I cried. Yeah. And then it was like, but one day I was like, I was just being a smart ass. And he's like, but why are her titties so saggy? I didn't have a bra on. It was before I got my lift and reduction. And I mean, if I didn't wear a bra, they were big. And I had a sweatshirt on, and I was like, yeah, it's a real problem. I get rug burns on my nipples. Yeah. I was just being a smart ass. And it was like his response to that. He was like, you know what? I can't even hate you. He's like, that was so fucking funny. And I was like, well, it is what it is. It's gravity, but thanks for looking at my tits. Yeah. And it was like in that moment that I realized like I can take back some of that power because they are saggy. But I had just gotten done breastfeeding a whole ass baby.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, they're a little deflated, George.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think that, and then therapy has helped where when you heal those broken parts in you and you start to be able to connect why you are the way you are, you can't help but start to connect why other people are the way they are because it's like you have that knowledge. And so when people usually come at me for whatever, I know that it's them, not me. Like, I think some of my followers here saw that some chick came after my nose. It made me second guess because I was like, is my nose that big to where I called you?
Yeah.
But it's like I almost clap back at her like I usually do so that I can boost my page. But when I went to her page and I saw every single one of her profile pictures was heavily filtered,
Yep.
I was like, oh, sweetheart. And I mean that was not vicious. And I'm like, she has so many image issues within herself that she has to like take it out on me about my nose. Yeah, I got different nostrils and I get scabs in them and it fucking runs.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. And no, I've never thought that I was going to. Why are you fucking smiling, bitch?
Here's the oh sweetheart, and I didn't mean it.
Oh,
And yes, you did.
maybe at
Fuck.
first. At first. But when I saw her pictures, I felt bad. I
I
did.
would feel
I
phenomenal.
felt bad for her. And so I took the high road and I responded and I told her flat out, I was about to clap back and use your, comment as an example and boost my page. However, once I went to your page, and don't worry, my followers did it for me.
Yeah, they always do.
Okay? But I said, I think this is a good opportunity for me to practice what I preach.
I'm proud of you for that. I applaud you for that.
So I did. And, but I think it's just, it depends on my mood. If that was a dude, I would have fucking thrashed her, just so we're clear. And anybody can be like, oh, because it's guys. Yes, because guys have broke my heart more than girls. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. So yeah, if it was a dude, I would have annihilated him.
Yeah.
And his little wiener.
I think with Reddit too, and I'm not speaking on the woman that is no longer here. I'm talking on my own experience. I will say with Reddit, with content creators, because I was so heavily involved with it for a long time, there's a lot of content creators that care. They say they don't care what other people think, but they do care. That's why they have Reddit accounts. And it's a lot of source of it's a lot of source. And I'm not saying that about this Michaela girl. I'm just talking about in general, why Reddit has such a powerful hold over content creators, because it's the only site that people can be their most ruthless, honest self. And it's very little like regulating. No one's telling you to go off yourself on your content. You know what I mean? Like if it's unless it's your scan, but they will on Reddit. And like when I was heavily
controversial too, though.
Yeah,
like
when I was heavily involved in Reddit, so like there was a creator back when I was doing it, I was helping the community and I was helping I helped the homeless down here in Fort Worth and stuff. Like this woman who I was helping her family, right? She's the reason why I backed away from live streaming. She's a big reason why I backed away from doing any kind of charity work through the internet. She's the first person I'd ever encountered that I was going to help this family. It was a woman who had several kids, and something just didn't sit right, and I was going to use my platform to help her family out, and then people started coming forward that were directly corrected, and me as who I am and researching, I should have researched her first and realized she was a scam. And so I quietly backed away. But because I backed away, she then attacked me with all of her followers, and they all went after my content for months to the point where I almost got banned. And then Reddit started, and then Reddit was like fueling it.
Didn't she make like multiple accounts pretending to be different people too?
Oh, I'm sure. But she had cronies for sure. But then I also was really big in the live stream community that I spoke out for smaller people who didn't have a voice, that were gifters on the app, that were getting abused and used by big creators, mostly men who were using middle-aged women. And so I used my voice for saying that. And I went after some really big creators in the live stream community, and they fucking hated it. And their entire following would just. Then I got to a point where I was like, that was back when I cared what people thought, because I had this, I was helping people in need and stuff, and I was like, I'll be damned if y'all are gonna make me look fucking. But then after that, I just stopped and I deleted Reddit, and I walked away from a lot of people. Majority of the live stream community I walked away from, and I just rebooted my own life, but it got really scary. Like my mental health was in a really, really bad place, and I had just gotten off all my medications, probably like 6 months in. So I was still having like manic episodes for long periods of time, not medicated. So like, and I would live stream what it was like to come off my antipsychotic medicine and all this stuff, like raw and real, is right before I met you. And and it was very scary place, but it made me kind of understand how to love myself and how much I don't give two flying fucks what other people say about me, and I don't let it bother me. So Reddit was no more at that point. There's still people, I have mods who send me clips here and there that still bring me up on Reddit, but again, I don't have a Reddit account because it can get deep into someone, especially if someone has mental health issues, and it's really
Which
up
she
to that
did.
person.
Yeah.
And it's, and I can't speak on anyone else, but there's at some point, because a lot of times content creation is someone's livelihood, that's how they make money, and if they're not strong enough but they can't walk away from it, me, it wasn't my livelihood at the time, and so I walked away. I was like, my life means more than money, so I'm out, see you later. And I took a break for a while, and it, but some people just don't. And I imagine, my only opinion is because she has a sanctuary, so everyone has to have an opinion. In the
Right.
animal sanctuary, I don't think there's not one on the fucking planet who doesn't
They're
get
they're just gonna go
accusations.
with a fine tooth comb,
Yeah.
and they're gonna say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that with Fox. You
Yeah.
shouldn't do like
And I
whatever."
don't know anything about her. I don't know. I don't follow the
I
pages.
didn't even know until I didn't know of her at all until
Yeah.
what happened to her,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But when I did look it up, I mean, she's got over 3 million on TikTok. She had what was it, 600 to something thousand on Instagram. So I mean, I feel like her pages are comparable to mine, give
Yours,
or take, you know, pretty close. I mean, the only thing that I can really say of how to like my advice, again, this is just my opinion, my advice, take it for what you want. When it comes to bullies online is one, don't let your kids be online. I know that a lot of people come at me for that because they're like, oh, they'll just do it behind your back. Then your kid shouldn't have a device. I run checks when my oldest was a little bit younger, and I found him on Facebook twice. Okay, you can do that. You can put things on their phone so that you can, you know, see what they're doing until they earn that trust. That's what I did. I had talks with both of my kids. Now it's more my younger one because he's getting older and he wants a phone and he wants all these things. He's 10. He doesn't have a phone. Okay, and I know a lot of people are like, what? Because a lot of kids get phones now when they're 7. I'm like, because of what I do for a living.
Yeah.
I am not. I have a hard time with my son playing Roblox. You know, there's a lawsuit for Roblox right now for kids who have in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, but anyway, so it's like my first advice would be do not let your minor children have social media. If you want to teach them the safety of social media, maybe you guys could have joint accounts. You know, I know that there are ones where you can have like a family. Is it Instagram? I can't remember. One of them have something like that where you can have your kids, but you have access to it too, so you can see what they're doing. Granted, a lot of kids don't like that because they want to be able to have a group chat without their mom reading it. I get that, you know, but I'm just saying that there's other options that you can do with your child. But in my house, you don't get it. My son, like I said, just you don't.
They don't have to have it.
And I explained to them why.
Yeah, kid safety is not a fad. Like it's not a trend. It's
not. And so I'm like, you want to be in the group chat? Then make a group chat with your text messaging that I pay unlimited for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And a lot of parents too, they're like the fear of missing out for their kids. And it's like, I could give two flying fucks.
No, fear of missing out. It's not FOMO on that. This is not FOMO. This is your child's life.
Yeah.
Okay. And just like what you see online, do you think any of those parents had any idea that their child was going to do what they did? No. And can you imagine being like, let's just back up here for a second, because we all put ourselves in the shoes of a parent whose child unalives themselves. What about the parents whose children did the bullying?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what that family's going through? Because not all of them are assholes. You know, not all of them are assholes and trying to make their kids look innocent. Okay. But can you imagine even just being the parent, because your children are still learning, like that frontal left cortex of your brain hasn't even developed yet, which it holds the ability to think long term, consequences long term. If I do this today, this could affect my life in these ways. They don't have that ability. Teenagers don't have that. It doesn't kick in until about mid 20s.
Yeah.
So it's like, can you imagine being the parent of a child? Not to mention, if your child was the bully, and as they grow and that part of their brain develops, the amount of guilt that child is going to live with, it's not worth it.
No,
For
and you know
what?
what's so funny is that the internet leaves them more like it's there forever. Like you see a lot of big influencers that
Hey, I have to stop. I'm so sorry. Listen, Allison, I've seen your comment many times, and
I'm not even looking.
it's wearing on me at this point. Like we stated, just like it says, this is our podcast. We are not doing open forum tonight. We had some people that emailed us, and so we have topics. So I'm sorry. Okay. So if you could please stop filling up the chat, I would really appreciate it. Okay. All right.
I've seen a lot of influencers like that said some shit because 20 something year olds influencers now had social media when they were 14 because it's been around for about 12, 14,
Right.
13 years, whatever.
Right.
And the things they put on Facebook or whatever, Twitter, whatever, when they were 14 are now getting dragged into the light now that they're
Yeah.
25 and they said racist comments or whatever the fuck it is that they said.
Yep.
And it's coming back into the light. And it's like,
They're not even those
I've
kids.
always-
They're not the same.
but I've always taught my children from being on the internet, whatever you write into a phone
Forever.
anywhere, if you write text, call in it's there forever. It's
Forever.
written in ink. It's not written in pencil. You cannot erase it. And like with P, she used to be like quick to be like, oh, my mom's on social media when she was little. I was like, stop doing that. Don't tell anyone I'm on social media, and you'll never have to worry about anyone knowing that I have a fucking social media page. She's like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, because my content's not for kids. My content's for adults.
Well, and I just had a conversation with my oldest yesterday, and come to find out, my son, like his friends will send clips of my videos. Again, these kids are like, some of them are 18, but they're around, 17, 18 years old. And so they'll see my clips and they'll send it to my son. And like my son, he's 17, right? And so I didn't realize that it's embarrassing for him. So we've had to talk through that. And it was like, the way he said it was like, he's like, you're embarrassing. And then we talked, he's like, I was like, I'm going to take it as you didn't think that I am, but just what's happening with your friends sending the videos. And so then we had to have a talk about self-esteem and how your friends are poking fun at you because it bothers you. And so why don't you talk to your friends and let them know, like, be serious with them? Because that's another part of being bullied is, are the people that are bullying you, whether it's online, at work, at home, if they are important people in your life, setting healthy boundaries, how are they supposed to know? These are kids too, right? So it's like, I told my son, I was like, just tell your friends, like, dude, I know you're joking with me, but it actually really bothers me. Can you just not? Can you just not? And your friends that care about your friendship are going to listen.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you're going to see a real friend. I asked you not to do that. You keep doing it. Get fucked.
Yeah.
And it's like, because it's never anything that's like risky or like, it's just, I play a part when I make certain videos. It's not who I am all the time, right? It's just a joke. They're just skits. And so, yeah, sometimes I look ridiculous, especially when I come into the frame in a pumpkin blow up suit. I get it. Like,
yeah.
But it is what it is. So my thing with online bullying is, one, don't let your kids have social media, my opinion, until they either show that their frontal cortex is kicked in, or until they're 18, and then they have to make their own choices. But you also have to prep them, because they don't just turn 18 and magically get the internet and then be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to prep them. I talk to my kids all the time. My 10-year-old wants me to make him a platform on YouTube where he can, like, he wants to game, like a lot of kids his age, want to try that out. I could totally help him with that. I just don't want to, because of what people are going to say.
Yeah, I won't let Wyatt have one either.
I just, I've just told him, like, let's wait till you get a little bit older. or if there's advancements in the technology to where my son can be online and be shielded from the bullshit. Because even if I didn't let him read that, he's going to go to school, and all the other kids whose parents don't have like those kind of boundaries are going to come to school and tell him all the shit that's being said. So I'm just like, no, we're just not doing it. And then as far as an adult, so if you find yourself online sharing your opinion, okay, because this gets tricky, and you're getting a lot of backlash, the first thing I would do is take a step back and reflect on yourself first. What are you posting? Is it positive? Regardless if the person was asking for an opinion or not, and you came in saying like you look like you hit every ugly branch on the way down. Like, that's fucking mean. And so the shit that you're going to get back, like, it's going to be the same as what you're putting out there. Okay. If you see a mom cooking dinner and you go in there and you talk shit about how it's not a healthy meal, you're probably going to get a lot of shit back. If you see a video of somebody just showing you their cute kid that made a funny comment in the car, and your first impulse is to talk about car seat safety, you're probably going to get a lot of shit. So I think first it's reflecting on yourself. Second, if you are promoting, like, you're just being funny, or you are like adding to the post or whatever, and people are talking shit to you, I would block them. If you're a content creator, my suggestion would be get to the point where you can recognize that it's not them, or it's not you, it's them. Like I can, so where I can, and Ashley does it too, whichever side. Ashley does it too, where it's like, we will take certain comments and we will capitalize on them to push our page out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they think they're doing something. Like, how many of you seen me come back in like the next day? And another thing.
Yeah.
It's because I'm going to utilize this hater to my benefit. And I don't care what they say about me. It doesn't, none of it. Well, because I already know what's coming, right? No wonder you're single. No wonder. This is why you can't keep a man. This, you're right. I got 7 of them buried in the backyard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to say all the shit. But also, I think if it gets to a point where it is bothering you with your own mental health, unplug.
Yeah. Walk away.
Don't get online. Unplug. I'm saying, go touch grass. Recognize that these people are miserable.
Yeah.
And their sole purpose when they try to tear you down is to bring you to their level. Something in you has triggered something broken in them.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now they're going to try to break. How does that saying go? People hate in you what they hate in themselves.
Yes.
Remember,
as long as you're searching for others' approvals, you're going to be fucking quite disappointed your entire life. The moment you stop doing that is the moment that nobody has power over you, and it's a hard place to get to, especially when you're on a public. I have nowhere near any of these follower sizes, but you could have 10 followers and have one really big hater, and it could really fuck with you if you're not in the right space. But one thing I always used to tell people when I first started telling my story online, I got a lot of fucking backlash, some real negative backlash about using my kids for monetary gain, which I never did. I didn't show my kids. I was just telling Tyler's death story. How that involved my kids, I don't know. But anyone that asks, well, I'm ready to tell my story, my only advice is to you, if you are not mentally prepared to read the most horrific comments, because there will always be them, then do not tell your story online. You have to have, at some point, you have to have some self-awareness that I'm not mentally prepped for this, for the world, because the internet is worldwide.
I've made those mistakes.
To everyone. Yeah, it's open to everyone, and everyone, as long as they have a phone or a computer in their hand, have the ability, if they're not blocked, to make comments on you or talk about you anywhere. It's the internet. It's a part of it.
Yeah.
And if you're not strong enough to handle that, then do not tell your story. Don't do it.
Don't.
It will break you every time.
I had
if you're in a story and you're really vulnerable, you have to really work on yourself to be able to get to a place of not being vulnerable. It's just not,
because the hate's coming.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop it. It's going to come. And so you have to be ready for it as much as ready you can be.
Yeah.
I had a very close friend of mine that I won't say anything other than that has a story that he wants to tell. And I think it's a great story, but it is controversial. And so I told him, I said, you have got to be ready. because the amount of shit that you're going to get. And he was like, you're right. And he's like, how do I get ready? I was like, I would recommend having a therapist on call for something like that. And it's true though, because people will tear you up when you share that story. And I have shared my story as far as like recovery. Of course, there are things that I have not given all, right? Like I haven't shared all of it just because I know that there are things that people, I don't care what their opinion is of it.
Yeah.
And I don't care enough. And I don't think that certain details are required to get the message, if that makes sense. But also like I'll give this example. It's not a huge deal, but I was very transparent. Or well, actually, right out the gate, I didn't mention that I was in a relationship for years.
Yeah.
And also, my ex didn't want to have anything to do with social media. He didn't really like social media. Plus, he had a record, right? So it's like doing what I'm doing and trying to get like have my pages all take off after I had a few viral videos. When in doubt, leave it out. So I just didn't talk about him until it got serious. His legal problems had been all taken care of, like, you know, because he was in recovery. A lot of addicts get in trouble. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, everything had been taken care of. And then I was like, I want to go public now. And like people that were really close to me, like Ashley knew, you know, but it's like, so then I started talking about it more. And then it all went to shit. And, you know, after 6 fucking years, like I was quiet the whole time. And then it was like the last year of my it just went to shit. And then I was very open about that because I pride myself in being transparent. But it was through that I learned that there are some things that I am just not going to share publicly. And so most likely, if I ever end up in another relationship again, like I'm not sure how open I am going to be like to that. I had people from his background, like women he dated, sending me horror stories about that. And I'm like, yeah, he was an active addiction. Like I'm so what do you want me to say? I'm so sorry that happened to you. And then you have people who like hated him, right? Maybe he sold stuff to them and ripped them off, whatever, back in the day. And they're in my comments just annihilating me.
Yeah.
You know, and then when we broke up, it was like, well, it wasn't going to last anyway because you bought your own engagement ring. And I'm like, holy fuck. I was grieving. Like, I don't know about some of you, but when you invest 6 years of your life into a relationship, your kids are involved, his kids, his family. Like, this wasn't just like we dated for a year, even a year, like, fuck. But like, we were going to get married, you know? And so it's like, I was grieving at the same time that it was the fucking holidays.
Yeah.
And I have people just attacking me for what?
Yeah.
For what? How does my relationship affect you? And so it was in that moment that I realized this is triggering for me. And I'm great at other things. But now what I've realized is I don't share my children with you other than their voice. I'm not going to share my relationships.
Yeah. I learned the hard way with this last one. And here's my thing. I always say I'm not going to share my love life. I'm not going to show them until there's a ring on my finger and we're married. But then Ashley gets trigger happy and she starts posting, but I don't show their face. This the one I'm with currently that we broke up, but we're back together. Anyways, I didn't ever show his face on purpose. I don't release his name, any of that. But when we split up, I was emotional. I made a post because he lied about something, which is an issue, a personal thing for him. Don't worry, he didn't cheat, didn't kill anyone, he didn't do anything like that. It was just his own personal demon. Anyways,
the secret.
And I let him either correct it and us
Or
work
leave.
or leave. And he
Right.
chose right then and there to correct it and go what he needed to do to make himself right. So we're together. But I will never post about it on my socials ever again anytime soon. Like ever.
Right.
Like it's just not.
I'm not doing
happy
that.
because I'm so full of happiness and I
Mm.
want to share that with people because a lot of my followers know that I've been single for 5 years as a widower and all this stuff, and they were excited to see me like in love and all this stuff. And then I got emotional and I decided to say, we split up because we did. And then I didn't realize, the unhealed version of me didn't realize that there are men out there that will take those steps. Okay, well, this is what I require, or bounce. And he chose that route because I mean a lot to him, and what he's going through means a lot to him. And
Right.
we'll see where it goes. But I won't be posting about it anymore. So you could see that I might tell you I'm married one day, and I might tell you I'm single the next. I am, this is for funsies now. I've put a lot of my life on the internet, a lot of it. And I'm thankful that I did, because it really helped me through dark times. But now it's all for funsies. Like
That's where
I
right.
posted a video
Stop.
yesterday, like where I was doing this and I was talking about
Right.
come back in your life.
I did
That's
one
not
too.
that's not my personal life directed right now. It's just a general statement. And I think when you kind
Yeah.
of get this close relationship with your following, where you invite them so deep into your personal life, they
Right.
feel like they have this connection about you, and they assume everything you're making is what's happening right then and there. And that's not the case anymore. It's just not. I'm posting for funsies and living my life, but I am happy.
Oh God.
Always know no matter what I do, I'm happy.
This is a perfect example of how shit for me on Facebook, for some reason, always seems to get out of hand. Okay. So I'm talking about how we broke up around the holidays, like I just said. And I've got Tracy who's like, I'm so sorry you're going through a breakup and the grief caused by it. I thank you. And it's like, I'm praying for you and sending you good vibes. Holidays. We're in July. I'm good. You see what I mean? It's like it can unravel so quickly. Where it's like I specifically said, like, I was grieving during the holidays and I was receiving this hate during the holidays. This was back in November and December that I'm referring to, right? Because I was open about it. That's not happening right now.
Yeah, we're good right now.
So, but it's like one person misunderstands, which I'm not coming for you at all, but one person misunderstands. This is how this shit happens. This is my point. And so you have to be able to be on top of it, right? And you have to be able to like deal with that, because it's like somebody posts something like that because they, honest mistake, misunderstanding. But then other people who don't know are going to read that and then think it's now. Right. Yeah. And so they're gonna be like, wasn't she just engaged in November? Oh my God, that quick already? Wow. Do you see? And it just fucking because people are brutal. Yeah. And so something as innocent as just a misunderstanding of what I was talking about, which is not now, before, right? Mm-hmm. Can take on a whole life of its own. And like somebody else in here had said something too. Amy said, like, ignore them, just do you. For this topic, and maybe that's other people's advice, I don't give that advice. I don't. If you are unable to take a stand for yourself and set healthy boundaries, you shouldn't be on the internet at all, my opinion.
Also, we capitalize. I
fucking sure do. But at the same time, even if I wasn't like on my personal pages, if I have people that are on like my friend list, like because I have separate accounts, right? Ones that I post my kids on, that my family's on, right? And then these platforms. But it's like, if I have somebody that says some mean shit in my comments on my personal page, you can bet your ass I'm not getting paid in there. But you can bet your ass I'm setting a boundary of, hey, your days are fucking numbered, or whatever.
I don't even intertwine the two. Like my personal pages,
I don't
have a clue that Not So Average actually even exists, just because the support's not there for me.
I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, like, I could make a picture of my or a post of my kid, and then it's a friend. It's a friend of mine comes in and says some fucked up shit. I don't ignore shit. I don't ignore just do you, ignore the haters. I don't give that advice. I don't. Because I feel like if you have to ignore all the hate, you're people pleasing. You're allowing people to cross boundaries in your life. I'm not saying waste your energy and be like, what the fuck? If you are that emotionally fueled by every piece of hate, you should not be on the fucking internet.
Yeah. And also
you need to take care of your own mental health.
Yeah. And on Facebook, we capitalize on haters. Mind you, it's not our entire personality. There are creators in the world who all they do is capitalize on
Right.
hate, and I think it's a disservice to the followers who truly love them, because then you go from being happy-go-lucky to just you're getting paid because it caused chaos.
Right.
The difference is we post things that we know we have 500, 1,000, however many thousands, whatever, that are in fully support of our content. That's why she's got the millions of followers she has. That's why I have the phenomenal almost 30,000 over here, and over at TikTok, however many I have over there. And we know we have that tribe, but there are times that we will absolutely boost our content on Facebook off of someone hating, because
I'll do it all the time. My
yeah,
numbers are struggling right now, so I'm looking. I'm actually looking for some motherfucker that wants to fight with me.
Yeah.
You guys are being so good.
Yeah. Yeah,
because all I see on mine right now are my followers. The people who talk shit aren't even my followers. So the algorithm is really doing its job, but I'm not getting pushed out to people who don't know me. That's where my page is at right now. So I'm struggling number wise, but bet your ass I'm looking.
My fucking any viral, any sim, not viral.
I already blocked them.
Any viral moving video that I have, at least on Facebook right now, when you go look at the algorithm, it's not to the people I know, and I know that because I'll start getting mass amount of hate. Right, like I just got called a heroin addict the other day for my video of me shooting trizepatide. And I know when I start seeing hate comments, I'm like, oh fuck, we're in extraterrestrial fucking land, because I'm having so much haters right now. I'll entertain it because I'll go double check, make sure I'm getting paid on the post, and you bet your fucking ass I'm going to war, because I know my followers aren't on that post. It is literally to non-followers, and I have one right now. It's like, I don't know, 400,000 views.
I'm sorry, Vicky.
And
I saw you on the news this morning.
Who? Where? Because that's how she gets her blue check mark.
Exactly. But then she ends it with, I saw you on the news this morning, the article. It was amazing. Touched my heart. Had a smile on my face all day because of you. What a man you are. Thank you.
I mean, my story's been told.
Are you in the wrong
chat?
I mean,
my touching
vagina.
Story has been all over the internet.
Somebody on Instagram accused me of being a he-she. That was fun. Just recently. I don't get a lot of hate on Instagram.
Yeah. I stay off Instagram. So one platform. But, mind you, thank you to your followers, because she's been tagging me in our videos. And so I'll get I have 1,800 followers, okay, on Instagram. I don't hardly ever post over there. It was a private, personal page before it went to Not So Average Ashley. But my family and stuff's mixed on there. So I don't really post any of my content over there. It's just day-to-day life sometimes. But I'll start getting floods of new ads, because I'm like, oh, Tiff must have tagged me in something. and then I'm like, oh God. And then I gotta pay attention, because my kids are on my Instagram. So I'm just and I try, what's crazy is I tried to make my Instagram private, because I'm not at the point where I'm going to try to grow my Instagram. I like having my family on, because all of them have that, including my dad, who's not on it on socials at all. And it's funny because he likes to send me the Chewbacca AIs and shit. And so, and so I tried making it private, and I cannot, because it's tied to my fucking Facebook. It will not allow me to go private on Instagram, which really sucked.
Allison, I made a video about asparagus. You'll have to watch it. They were just referencing a joke.
But anyways, that's where we stand with the
online bullying. You have to. I hate the saying of you have to have a thick skin, because at the same time, I feel like the haters shouldn't be able to get away with what they get away with, to be honest with you.
I know, I agree, but they do.
But you do have to, I think instead of having a thick skin, you have to know your value and your worth, and you have to be able to recognize, because I can tell the difference between somebody who's trolling and somebody who's a hater. They're different types of people. And the trolls, I'm going to ignore all day long. I don't have fucking time for that shit. But haters, I can capitalize on, because they're guaranteed to come back and continue to talk shit, because they are broken.
Yeah. I had a troll once in the first few years of on TikTok. I had one specific troll that trolled me hard. And I mean, but then I would clap
Yeah.
back in a funny way because I didn't really understand what it was.
No, you're
We
fine,
became,
Allison.
we became actually good friends on the internet. Never knew their real identity, but I knew that they would comment on something. And I was like, been waiting for you. Like, like other than that, though, haters are a different story. But that's where we stand on that because we don't have much time
Right.
left. But we'll touch on the second topic, but not very long. And here's why I will not talk on it very long. And this might not be the response the person
Red flag.
was not looking for. But if you are breaking up with someone, and this is the part plays with your
Why the fuck are you friends?
if you break up with someone, I think you absolutely have zero fucking business being friends if you do not have true,
Children.
healthy,
Children.
happy. No, if you don't have true, yes, but if you don't, if me and someone break up, and you don't have the want of them to actually succeed in life and be happy with their life and overlook the fact that it wasn't with you, you have no business being with that person as a friend. And if your only demise is I want them to feel what they made me feel, then you are a shitty fucking human being. I don't care what they did to you. You're a shitty human being because it might have not worked, and yeah, they might have fucking broke your heart horrifically, but that's whenever a healed person would know their own boundaries and walk away from someone and never allow someone to get to that point of really breaking them down. And it takes a lot of work to get there, but if you are waiting on the demise of someone to fall that you loved at one point, that's a problem. You shouldn't be friends with that person. That's all I'm gonna say on it because that's how it truly feels. Like I'm not friends with some of my exes. Some of them I am because I knew it didn't work with us, but I truly want them to have the best in life and they're married or whatever or doing great in life. We don't talk anymore, but we were cordial.
I
And then
got
there's
him, guys.
motherfuckers that I don't talk to at all because I cannot look at them ever again the same way I looked at them before.
Well, and I'm going to play devil's advocate just a tad. There is a possibility, and I don't know, I didn't read the email, but there's a possibility that maybe this person didn't realize that they harbored those feelings. And so then when their ex was going through a breakup, they were thrilled. At that point, I would end the friendship. And I would be honest and I would just tell him, like, turns out I'm not as healed as I thought I was from our relationship. And I'm finding that watching you go through this, like, you need to do work on yourself. We can all agree to that. Like, if we're really going to put all the bullshit aside, let's take true accountability. It is a normal human behavior to, I want to be a fly on the wall when karma dishes out some shit with people I know. Okay. I would love to be able to see that. So I feel like it's a normal human behavior, but at the same time, if you're there and you're pretending or you're recognizing that you're finding actual pleasure in that, I would walk away. I would be honest about it. And I would say, I have figured out that I need to do a little bit more work on myself. I haven't completely healed because I'm finding pleasure in the pain that you're going through.
Yeah.
It's a normal human behavior, but it's not a flex
at all.
Especially if you are maintaining the friendship. That's not a friend. Can you imagine having your best friend harboring those types of emotions towards you? That's fucking awful.
That's like this bitch right here. If she was like preying on my downfall or saying vice versa, it's like, no,
this bitch calls me and it's like sometimes we just tell each other out the gate, I just need to vent, which is our fucking code for I'm just supporting her and whatever she said. Bitch, let's go. No questions asked. Hide a body. I got a shovel.
Yeah.
And then there's other times, like when I called her about my nose, I need you to be actually honest with me. Or when I was like, dude, when I've lost so much weight that when I sit down bare butt, it looks like I'm melting. No, it doesn't, bitch. Hold on. And I sent her a picture. She sends it back. Fucking Photoshop. I said, bitch, this isn't one of those moments. Let's live in reality. My ass looks like it's melting. Okay, fine. Right? Like, but can you imagine having a friend who didn't do that?
Yeah.
Who was, hoping you would fail, found
that's
pleasure.
the ability of having friends that can be honest with you, whether it's good or bad. Like if you can't be on, like I have two best friends, female best friends that Sasha, who's been in my life for 20 years, who's been through everything with me, and Tiff, who has been in my life for 2 to almost 3 years. And there's never been a moment of she might say something and I'm like, okay, but let's look at this from a different view because you're not seeing the full picture. Vice versa. Same thing with Sasha.
Right.
And if I didn't have like those are the two relationships that mean the absolute world to me. Because there is no I'm afraid of what they're going to say. True friends won't give two flying fucks what you say because you're saying out of love and they know you're saying out of love. But if you're hating on someone, that means you got some healing to do, you know? You got to at the end of the day, since I've lost Tyler, my view on life has changed tremendously, and I literally just want everyone to win in life. I
Right.
think everyone deserves to find happiness with somebody. Everyone deserves to be happy with themselves, but I think everyone deserves that. I just want everyone to win at the end of the day, and that includes the people that have wronged me in my past. And that
No, I feel the same way.
we just don't sit at the same table anymore. We don't break bread together anymore. But I don't want you to fail at life. I don't want, because life's already hard enough. And if that's the emotions you're getting, then I would step away from that friendship, because it's not a friendship. I was still hoping we would work this out and be together. Let me be so fucking honest with you right now. Because you still have feelings for that person. And there's a hopes that they're going to come back and y'all are going to work things out. I say that because I've been there, and that's just not the case. And if it just didn't work with you, move on with life, grieve it, and move on with life. There's 8 billion people in this world. I know it's a dumb analogy because everyone says that, but it's the fucking truth. It's
It
the
is.
truth.
And
If
it's
you would
like,
have, if
even
you would have
now,
asked me if I would have met another best friend when I was 30, 34 on the internet, I would have been like, you're fucking high.
right. I remember like when we would, like in my 20s, when I would meet somebody from like MySpace
Yeah.
or like when Facebook first started, right? Um, I would be like, let's just tell everybody we met at Starbucks, because it was like embarrassing at the time
Mhm.
to be like, yeah, I met him online. Like, what? Because it was such a foreign thought.
Yeah.
But to add on what you were saying too, like, and I've told you about this, and I think I've said it a couple times in my life. I've had people since my breakup reach out to me about things about my ex or whatever. And I have flat out said, listen, I am not completely healed, right, from what happened. I would
Mhm.
love nothing more than to just like lower myself and just talk shit. But I'm not going to do that. Like, I have to be honest with myself. And it's like one of the hardest things. I've never experienced this before until my last relationship. But one of the hardest things for me was I actually loved that man.
Mhm.
Like, I really did. And I still believe to this day that, like, if you believe in soulmates or fucking the one or whatever. I believe in those things, but I also believe that there's possibilities that you guys meet at the wrong time, that your timelines are off in this lifetime. Like, somebody's more advanced in the healing process than somebody else, whatever, vice versa, right? But like, having to make that decision to love myself, he loved me to the best of his ability. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
That's all. I was just worth more because I had advanced in and healed more than he had during our relationship. I'm the one who changed.
Yeah.
He's the same. He's changed. He's gotten better with a lot of things too from when we first met. But it just got to that point where I just couldn't make any more excuses. And so I had to walk away from him. But it's like what he did by talking to other women was awful.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here. I still wish him the best. And I'm
Yes.
sure that when it gets around to me that he's fucking somebody or dating somebody, that's going to hurt. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, I hope he gets this and I hope he gets gonorrhea. And I hope, like, no, I honestly hope that, like, he takes this as a learning experience and betters himself so that he doesn't do it to the next one. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
You know, he's also
Yes.
got daughters. I don't want him to fail. He's got kids.
Yeah. I just used to be a very toxic person, and I'm not anymore. Toxicity doesn't bring you peace ever. It never will. It even
No,
might feel good in the moment. And I used to be a very toxic person. I used to post a lot of toxic fucking content.
I got
And
it.
I just don't. I don't support it anymore. I can't. I know it's all he's and ha's online, but the pain that truly comes from a toxic fucking environment is a very unhealed place to be. And I worked really hard to become healed. I will never fucking go backwards. I could be with someone for a long time. I did. I fell in love with someone after Tyler, and we were together, and it was going through a divorce, and it was a long thing, and they ended up getting back together. We're on the verge of moving in. Anyways, I wish him the best. I wished him the best to work out his marriage for his children.
Right.
And back then I was very toxic. Let me call you 87 fucking times because you didn't hear me the first time.
Me
But
too.
it was because I was very
Oh, you don't want
unhealed.
to answer my
Yeah.
text?
Yeah.
What's this
Like,
showing up?
yeah, like Tyler taught me how to pull valve stems out of a tire. How? Because he used to do it to me when we were fighting. Like I learned all my best toxic traits from the man that I had children with. And I
Yep.
reflect on that now, and I'm like with what I'm going through with Jay right now. He told me, I was shocked with what he told me. It wasn't like crazy, but for where I'm at, I was like, no, like nope. And
Right.
I chilled for a bit. I had to make the decision, am I going to allow him to correct it and do better, or am I going to walk away? And I presented the option. He's mature and realized my points are extremely valid, and I meant something to him, so he immediately took the steps that he needed to better himself, and I'm
Yeah.
very proud of him for that. Now, will that mean that we're together in 6 months? I told him out the get-go, I can't promise you I'll be with you in 6 months, because you lied to me about one thing, and lying's big for me, but I'm going to allow you this chance to correct yourself, or it's really better for your own health more than anything. And but we could be together another year, and I love him very much, and he could fuck up, and I can walk away. I'm not gonna write you a 40-page text message. I'm not. I made my
Yeah.
boundaries clear in the beginning. I will not cross them, and that's just what it is. Period.
I will
And
never fight a girl either for a man.
oh no,
Have him.
I used to do that a lot for Tyler.
Yeah. Have him. Have
God.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good riddance. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, let me get you the 3-ring binder about how to deal with his mother as well, because
Yeah.
I retire.
Yeah.
That was
It's just,
personal.
but it's hard, and when it comes to like in relationships, it comes from a point of wanting to be loved so hard that you don't realize you don't even love yourself, that you seek the validation and love from another human, which is valid to be in love with someone, but if you don't love yourself, you'll never be loved correctly, ever. I don't give a
Well,
fuck what
I'm going to
anyone
tell you
says.
right now, there's only 2 types of people who cheat.
Yeah.
And that's like, and I'm being serious, this isn't a joke. It's psychopaths who do not have the ability for empathy, right? So, red flag right there. Okay.
Mhm.
So, psychopaths that don't feel empathy at all. Okay.
Yeah.
And then people who don't know, like they don't love themselves, they don't have their own value, their own worth. And so they find that validation in other people. Rather, it's a woman who cheats or a man, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Mhm.
This isn't gender specific here. It's people who need that validation.
Mhm.
There's a reason why, if you look at who he cheated on you with, I think back to the men who have cheated on me. The first guy that ever cheated on me, he cheated on me with a stripper, and not a stripper at a high end fucking club.
Yeah.
We're talking like the sleazy, Dollar Tree
Mhm.
fucking club.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, as individuals, we can't help but compare ourselves to what's so great about them, why did you, and it's never about the other person. Do you want to know why they're low, or you think that they're like out, like under your league? Is because it's easier for them to get that quick validation, whereas with you it takes work.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you're starting to build a self-esteem, or you already have that self-esteem. And so when they fuck up and they have shitty behaviors, you're calling them out on it. You're holding them accountable. Well, they
Yeah.
go to somebody else who's not as healthy as you, right?
Mhm.
Regardless what they look like. We're not talking about looks, right? It's easier
Yeah.
because they don't have that level that you're at. So whenever somebody like cheats on you, because that's why my last one ended. Well, he was talking to other girls. It's progressive. It would have gotten there, right?
Yeah.
It's never about the other woman. Nine
Yeah.
times out of 10, that other woman doesn't know about you. Like he's already lied, or she has lied to him, whatever. And they don't even know you exist,
Mhm.
right? Or they think, oh, we're divorced, we're broken up. There's always something, right? It's never about them.
Yeah.
It's never about the other person. It's about your spouse.
Yeah.
So just remember that.
Yeah.
Never think like I'm not enough. You're enough. It's
Yeah.
just that they're not enough for themselves.
Yeah, and for the ones in the chat, they're like, "Oh hell no, lying them out." I agree with
Please.
you on lying route, but I just want to point out, Jay didn't lie to me like he has a second life. Jay drinks, and I didn't realize the amount that he drank. And my biggest thing is I don't mess with people that drink at an excess. He wasn't like a crazy; he just had the same routine every day. So I told him, "You want to be with me? You correct it," and he's correcting it. And so therefore I'm with him. He didn't lie to me because he's like has like a baby over here and like all that. He's a great fucking man to me. How he treats me, he's still a phenomenal human being. Like he's absolutely crazy about me. I think he just didn't recognize that he had a problem until I came along, and then I was like, that's not, we're not doing that. So he's correcting that. If it were anything else, it's a different story. I wouldn't be around. But again, that's where my boundaries come in place, and I weigh with myself, is this worth it in the end? And I give myself a time frame. Well, let's see if he takes the next steps. He did immediately. Okay, let's see how that works for him. If it works, great, great. But the first time that I find something, it comes to source that, hey, this is wrong. Bye, I'm out. See ya. We
You
can be
know that
together.
it takes twice as much effort, 10 times I'm willing to bet,
Yeah.
to correct one lie, like to
Yeah.
rebuild that trust from one
Yeah.
lie. And Heather had said that unfortunately for her, like the other women did know about her. I've been in that position as well. It doesn't happen as frequently as what I was saying. That's why I left 9 times out of 10. But
Yeah.
there is that one, right? And fuck those women entirely. Like at that point, you can have him. That's what I mean when I'm saying I will never fight a woman for a man. I won't have him. If
Yeah.
you know about me and you still want him, he's yours.
Yeah.
Today, right now, come pick him up. He's out. You see what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
is 100% yours. Let them have him.
Yeah.
You don't deserve somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. It's going to hurt, right? It hurts because you're going to grieve for what you thought your future was going to be, who you thought he was, who you thought you guys were together.
Yeah. That's it right there.
But let her have him.
Yeah.
There's somebody else. And here's my thing is I've had people tell me, like, because I just posted that video, grief is weird. Like I'm in this thing right now where I'm missing my ex, but I'm missing not him. I'm missing what I thought. Like, it's not like it's all bad or else you wouldn't have been with somebody, right? So it's like in those moments, rather it was real or not, doesn't matter. It felt real, and that's what I'm grieving. And so in those moments, whatever, and people always say like, oh, don't worry, another one will come around. Oh, that just means that your one and only's out there. I'm not trying to replace him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to heal. And if there is somebody else, may he fucking find me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to fucking, plow through his house like the goddamn Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
So, but like for me, it's just a matter of healing. And if there's somebody out there I'm compatible with, maybe if Raya, is that how you say it?
Raya
would fucking accept my goddamn application. We could just see if Johnny Depp wanted to. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's on.
That's where they're at. That's where all the celebrities and influencers are at.
Right. So now I'm like, and then somebody was joking on Instagram and was like, if you get on there, tell Jason Momoa I said hi. I'm like,
because it's the only dating website that you have to get accepted into. So therefore it's more of a safe space. But still, the Brooke Schofield that I saw when she's talking about, she's like, yeah, you're still gonna meet your weirdos that you see on wherever online or in movies or whatever, and then it's just more of a secretive, like, black tie event behind a secret door, But I was like, well, fuck, bitch, like, she has less followers than you. Fucking apply immediately. Might as well. You know what I mean?
But also, I'm going to change topics. I know we're over time, but I just want to touch on this just a little bit. First of all, this guy, Giles, I'm really sorry that happened to you. I like 100% thank you for actually tuning in and commenting that, because I mean that for like men and women. Men are also victims of fucked up women who do the same thing that's happened to me with men. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So I am so sorry that you've gone through that as well. And so we can just put them all in the, fuck you club. How about that?
Yeah.
I still wish him well. But I do want to just a little that girl, they only ask for your Instagram.
Yeah.
So they're only going to go off of your Instagram account. And it's like, I looked it up and it's about like, how do you say it? Aesthetic. Is that right?
Pleasing.
And I tell her, I was like, dude, if they opened up my account right now, it's me struggling for my life, getting out of my fucking cheerleading uniform with a crackhead bun.
Yeah. Your Instagram doesn't fall in the aesthetically pleasing line.
So I put my pretty girls walk like this, in my green dress from Cheer Choice because I paid for somebody to do my hair and makeup and I look pretty good. And because I pinned it at the top so they could be like, see, I clean up nice, bitch.
Yeah.
Now people are commenting on it and some bitch called me a he, she. And I'm like, I didn't even
Instagram, like, let me just tell you the hate train. Reddit goes number one.
defend
Instagram,
myself.
but Reddit is the number one hate train. Instagram is the most brutal fucking platform to be a
My
part of.
Instagram's pretty good.
I'm just saying in general.
But
Like,
yeah.
if I want a good giggle or like oh god, my life is okay, I go to Instagram videos immediately.
See,
Like,
that's funny because I see a lot more on Facebook than I do anywhere else.
well, I feel like Facebook is like, but like I'm talking about like where the world, like Facebook's really broad, but I feel like Instagram is just like worldwide broad.
That's
And
true.
like
That's true.
and but some of my favorite comments that are shitty comments, you'll see
Yeah.
some of the sweetest beings, right? That are
Yeah.
just trying to make it. They truly don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, and they're just sweet human beings that you wouldn't see as a normal influencer. And in the comments, it's like sending hate from Seattle, hate from Arizona, and I'm like, God damn, this girl is just making a cup of coffee. Like,
God damn, this fucking chick's like, just another he, she. And I'm like, fair enough. I think I said something like, you know what? That's fair. Because I had paid a makeup artist to
yeah,
come and do full glam like a
yeah,
drag queen. I mean, it wasn't quite as vibrant
no,
because
great,
drag queens have like palettes that they use for like bright
yeah,
colors,
dramatic,
which I didn't do, but fair because I had a lot of makeup on.
yeah,
Because
it was
we were
good.
also going to, it was on TV.
Yeah,
So you put a lot on.
yeah, it was good.
Okay. But like, fair enough. So I just put that's fair. I did have somebody do my makeup full glam, but and I just left it. But I'm like, God, now they're gonna go to my thing and be like, is she? Because I'm all up in my head and I'm like, out of all the comments, Tiffany, they're gonna find that one that says, oh, look, another he, she. No, 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 but oh. So I'm like, maybe they're backlogged on applications. I don't know. And so maybe like that'll give me time to get to the Bahamas.
But I wonder if you're gonna have to post some like not just videos. Like, isn't your Instagram all your videos? Like, you don't
No,
actually post
no,
aesthetically pleasing
no,
photos. Like, it's
no.
not like your
No.
Instagram is not a
It's
typical
like my
Instagram.
Facebook.
Yeah, because Instagram
Yeah,
is based
yeah.
solely around an aesthetic look. Like, that's,
And I don't do that.
yeah, like,
But I still have 1 million followers, so I can't be doing everything wrong.
no, you're doing it right. I'm just saying, I think
Right.
from their point of view, that's where, but I just want to know if
Yeah.
you're going to get either approved or if you'll get a denial email because you got denied. Like, I just need to know. Don't leave us in the abyss.
I just feel like with 1 million followers, 1.1 million on that platform, they would be really dumb to deny somebody on a loan that at that point they could talk shit.
Yeah, I mean,
So
the requirements were like one of the first ones out
you
the
have a
gate was like,
strong following.
and you have to be extremely attractive,
And
is what they said.
right. Well, it does say though that you have to be in the public eye.
Yeah,
But here's the thing about attractiveness, and this is what fucking then I start getting mad.
yeah,
It's like, who the fuck is picking? I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Okay? But like that doesn't mean I'm not attractive.
I know.
Like there are some people, I'm saying this because I know Chris is in here. There are some people who think Frenchies are cute.
Tiffany,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. They're cute. Frenchies are
I
cute.
hope Chris did not hear that.
Well, no, he did it because Chris was in here. But that's my point. Like, translate that to human. Okay? I was
love
going to say
Frenchies.
something, but it was rude. I was going to say something else about a person that I don't know in real life. And I was like, I better not.
Are you submitting that you don't think Frenchies are cute?
I was joking, bitch. That's why I had a disclaimer. But like, translate a Frenchie to a human. Have Chat GPT, whatever. Translate a Frenchie to a human. You're going to see what I mean. Like if Ratatouille was a human, do you see what I'm saying? Somebody's still going to think he's fucking attractive. Who are these people sitting where?
It's kind of like your love for your cuteness of your Mr. Miyagi or whatever. Brimton.
Okay, he's cute. And everybo's always like, he's so ugly. I'm like, no,
he looks like Master Splinter.
He does.
in
I'm
dog
going to get
form.
him now because you're pissing me off. Look.
I had to stick up for fucking Chris for a second. Chris is like a dear friend of ours. I love
First of all,
Chris. I just can't afford him.
he has a natural mohawk, and he hates the camera. That's why you guys like rarely see him. He has a beard because I got his DNA done. And he's got miniature schnauzer. He's a Chihuahua and a miniature schnauzer.
But he looks like Master Splinter. Like this under hair here is, you need to put him in a gouache or whatever they're called for fucking Halloween. If you don't, I'll be really pissed if he's not Master Splinter and you don't dress Ebenezer up as a fucking turtle. I'll be real fucking pissed.
I could do it because he's just happy to be here. He'll be Michelangelo for sure. Let me go put him back in his bed. Hold on. Anyway, but like that's a very good point there. I think he's cute.
Yeah.
A lot of other people are like, when I first got him, I had one friend where I was like, bitch, you can't ever come over. Because he was a puppy. He was 6 months old when I got him. And she's like, he's not that cute. I'm like, the fuck? You want to fight? You want to fight? I get it. He's scruffy looking. But I think he's adorable. So that's my point. Who's sitting in this back fucking room deciding?
I don't know. Like, I have talents that I can't show in a picture. It's not cooking. So I won't be making so here's my plan. If I don't hear from them, apparently they don't give you a rejection. I've looked it up. Oh, they don't?
It just sits there like pending or waitlisted. And so like you can reapply. I don't know. I have to look into it a little bit more to see at what point you reapply, like when can you? But you can reapply. So I'm like, but this one chick that only had like, I think 10,000 followers got approved. But she was waitlisted for 3 months. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to the Bahamas and I was like, if I can just get there. Yeah. Also, one of the rules is like, if you are extremely wealthy, they don't want you flashing. Like you can't be too flashy. And I'm like, okay, so scratch off the idea of going to the bank and getting money and famine. So, okay.
I just want you on there so I can see who's
no money gun.
I want to see who's on there. That's why I want you to get approved.
Well, and apparently if you get approved, you have to you sign this thing, like you'll get banned. You can get in big trouble from what I read. Like if you screenshot, if you share outside of there, like you're not allowed to tell publicly who's on that.
Yeah, it's the elite of elite in dating apps.
Right. So like you can't publicly, I could tell you as my friend.
Yeah.
But like I can't go public with it. I can't.
Which I think is great, you know. I just want to know who's on there.
And then it's like
Jason Momoa is on there. I mean, he's married, but you know what I mean?
Right. But that's why it's funny. But yeah, and apparently the way it works is like they only match you with 10 people at a time. And then you have to wait like hours.
That's smart though.
To get like any other ones. So you put if you like them, whatever, and then they have to match with you. Yes. So she was like one of the hottest guys right now, you know, and I don't know when she wrote this article, but she was like, he didn't match with me. And she's like, maybe it got to my head because I was actually accepted. So I was like, fuck yeah, I have a shot. Yeah. And then he didn't match with her. Oh, he was like, pass, swipe. That's right. But anyway.
Before we go, I want to point out my eyebrows. Do y'all see how
here we go.
They look? This is not an ad, but I bought this the other day. This NYX, the brow glue crazy lift. I saw it on TikTok where I bought it at Ulta. This shit is titties, dude. My shit is fluffed and cemented to my face. Just FYI. It's like $12.
If you're into eyebrows, you know.
If you're into eyebrows, it's the best. It's the best.
So yeah, anyway. Sharon, I'll just take pictures while I'm at the Bahamas, and then we'll like just make my Instagram. What do I do, guys? Sunset, beach.
I don't know, but you should definitely
food, right? Yeah. That's an Instagram food.
Yeah. Just
the
take
bartender.
Some good photos.
I don't know.
Just take some good photos.
No, don't
sunset.
add Jerry West. He's a scammer, fucker. I got him.
But anyway, so this was good. We went over, but it ended up being pretty decent. I do read. Please understand, I do read your emails. I do. I just went through them
She
yesterday,
does.
this morning. Yeah, I do. She does not. She doesn't even know they exist. Until
I
I
know
tell
they
her.
exist.
I know, but I'm saying like until I tell her.
Right.
So the emails in my whatever you call it bio, it's chatterboxco@gmail. You're more than welcome to write and just put a topic that you would like us to talk about. Please don't get offended if you write me your entire life story and I respond with one sentence or don't respond at all because we are not therapists, we're not professionals, and some of your shit that you guys are writing us is extremely fucking heavy and I don't fucking have the capacity or know how to respond to what you're saying. But if
I
it's
don't want
light
to
and
offend
simple,
anybody either.
I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I've made that clear out the gate. That if you wanted to use it as an outlet and you just needed to get it out, just don't be offended if I don't respond because I don't know what to say other than I'm so sorry, and I'm not a professional to even give you advice because we only talk about what we've dealt with and experienced with. So if it's a topic that we can actually relate to and talk to, we'll talk about it. We'll never talk about something we don't relate to because that's absolutely wrong to do as a human being. That's just how we are. If you have gossip that has to do with my life or her personal life, I promise you that will never see the light of day either because we don't care. But other than that, you're more than welcome to send us
Right. And if you're
emails.
trying to email me because you dated somebody I used to date, I don't give two flying fucks.
Yeah. And I'm the Trojan horse. It's
Okay.
got to go through me first.
Right.
So, but we do see all the appreciation posts, our
Yes.
emails. I do send those
Thank
to her
you.
to read. We do appreciate those. But yeah, you're more than welcome to send. It might take me a little bit there's some that I replied to last night that were probably a week or two old because I have a life and I'm busy. But we are trying to incorporate, and sometimes we don't get any emails, so we just talk about whatever. But
Well, and I think
um,
next week we could touch on that one about EMDR.
yeah, for sure. I'll
Because a
send
lot
it
of
to you.
people ask about that, and I haven't talked about it in a while. So,
Yeah, yeah, and
Good.
that's her expertise. So.
Yeah.
That works. Anyways, this was great. This is a good one. We had a good conversation.
I
Hopefully you
think
guys
so.
get a lot. Make sure you're following us. Make sure that you're loving on our content. We love y'all for that.
Yeah, my numbers are low. I don't know why. It's not your guys' fault. Maybe I
I'm
need more
almost at
like
30,000
shares.
followers.
I saw that.
I'm like 300 away from 30,000 followers. So if you don't follow me, if you don't mind
We got to
following me
get you there.
on Facebook, I'd really appreciate it. The only thing that really gets traction lately is anything that has to do with my body image, and it's not to my followers, it's to the non-followers. But
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate you guys
I'm trying to get my
posting the
numbers up
content.
so I can go to the Bahamas and touch grass, sand,
Yeah,
palm trees.
I'm just trying to pay for my Botox or my lip filler next month because I make about $200 on Facebook a month. So if you guys could just interact, I'd love y'all for that for life.
So this isn't the right time for me to say that I'm almost at 4 million. No.
I love that for you. I just want to
We
get to
could-
30. I want to be to
If
50
you're
by
not
the end of the
following
year.
her, go do it.
Please. It's this name right here.
She said, please. I
Please. I'm trying
now.
to get to 50K by the end of the year. That's my goal. And then 100K by the summer of next year. On Facebook. Because you guys do interact. The people that do follow me, I fucking love you guys because I can post something on Facebook. Like today, I was like, I've never posted my pets. I think I'll post them. And I haven't gone back and
Dolly
checked.
did really good on my page.
Yeah, I haven't, I know that people are commenting, but I got busy with work, so I haven't been able to go look back and see, but I know people are posting their pets in my comment section. Love that. I'll see them
Yes.
tonight. But I do
See,
appreciate
and
it.
I have this Velcro dog. He's with me all the time.
Yeah, pizza ears.
If you don't see him, he's here.
Yeah.
You
So
usually see
anyways.
this.
But this was good. We'll be back next Tuesday. Wait,
Yes, I will. I don't leave till Thursday.
my dad comes in
Oh,
from overseas on Saturday or Sunday. I'll keep you posted if we're going to do the podcast. I'm pretty sure we will, but I
if
don't know what
not,
we.
I can go live just
Yeah,
on my
'cause I
Facebook.
haven't. My dad hasn't been home in over six
It won't be
months,
a
so
podcast though. I'll just go
yeah,
live.
yeah. So but you'll see it. I posted on my page by Monday. I'll probably
And
make
I
it
share
happen.
it.
Yeah,
I share it so that you guys can follow her, by the
yeah.
way.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Tiff because anytime she comments on my stuff or she tags me and stuff, I get followers from it, and I really appreciate it. Your girl is just trying to. I'm just trying to get my nails and my lips done occasionally. Okay.
You should have the best. See, this happens to me. Like when you're arguing and then a week later you're like, I should have said this. I just had it. It's okay. Who's sitting in the back room deciding if I'm attractive or not? There's some people who like labubus.
Oh God, that was another strike at Chris. What is with you attacking Chris today?
But it's not about his cute dog, so I feel like that was an inadequate object. That was a good one. It was good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I trust somebody who also collects Polly Pockets to determine who's if I worked there, I would just say everybody was attractive. I'd have to look at other shit. I'd be like, you're following your content.
I just love that
everybody's attractive in their own way. You can't do that.
I just love that our group chat has you all have you guys have these things that you collect that are of value.
Google it.
And I don't have any collections because mind you, I'm the brokest of the friend group. I'm like, here I am. I just want to point this out to you guys. Here I am in the friend group financially. Here's Tiff, and then here's Chris and Brandy.
But I feel like you like makeup. You've always got like a new fucking eyebrow wand.
But everything I use is from Walmart. Like I just don't.
Okay.
But I don't have any collections of things. I mean, I used to, kind of, I guess. But either way, I love. So they sent their pictures in our group chat, like Polly Pockets and Labubus, and then here's
my dollhouse.
Yeah, I said, here's my hand. I was like, here's me holding my expensive collection.
There's not a link to follow her. See her name? Not underscore so underscore average underscore Ashley. But also, if you go to my page and you like scroll today's posts, I shared her announcement for our podcast. You can hyperlink right to her.
Yeah, hyperlink right on over. Skedaddle on
She's got 29,000 something followers.
I'm almost to 30,000. I'm so very excited. I'm very, very excited.
Our friends, Chris and Brandy.
Yeah, they're our bestest friends. They
own the O&M coffee that I drink every fucking day.
More, but yeah, their coffee's really good.
They were sponsors at Cheer Choice Awards. She's known them, but I met them for the first time at Cheer Choice, and now we're all friends.
Yeah, they're phenomenal human beings. Both of them. Love them to death.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was joking about the Frenchies. I was just because Chris and I are like almost siblings, the way we treat each other.
Yeah.
So that's also why I took the stab at Labubus. But a Labubu is not, that's just like a toy.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than the Frenchie.
Yeah, I guess I'd just break it like a collection of something. I could collect.
They're cute, but
weird shaped spoons. Somehow I'm still on TISM TikTok right now, where it's all they post their spoons, and like we just want to ask the TISM community.
It's not just TISM. People with ADHD. I like smaller spoons.
Some of these spoons give me anxiety. So,
like, if you hand me a big spoon and we're not eating soup, I'm like, what the fuck is this ladle?
Oh, I love big spoons.
No,
I love a big spoon.
I don't want to eat.
But you know what I don't like? Forks. When it comes to forks, it has to have like the handle has to be smooth. There can't be any engraved shit. It can't be dug out. Like the edges can't be sharp from Dollar Tree. I've bought.
You do have a fucking.
I have bought Dollar Store or Walmart's dollar like forks, and whenever I was broke. Yeah. I don't like it because it could cut your tongue on the end. It's not a smooth ending. It needs to be smooth. There can't be any fucking designs on my silverware, or I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Like, get it the fuck out of my drawer.
I bought gold ones. They're not real gold, but it's like they're not silver.
Yeah,
it's gold.
Yeah.
And then my 10-year-old throws them away. He does it on accident.
Yeah.
So I don't have forks anymore. Yeah, I'm buying forks like every couple months.
Yeah.
Damn it. But anyway, all right then. Well, I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love y'all. Toodaloo.
If live has gone too long, then leave.
Yeah, we're vibing. Fuck. Hey, last week we're making it up because last week we were together and we had no energy.
I ended it.
Yeah.
Because I was done. So
so we gave you all a little extra this time.
Don't time limit me. I'll sit here all fucking night.
We have a timer. We can see. You can't see it, but we can see it in the corner, so we know.
All right then. But I'm leaving because I want to, not because you said. All right. Love you. Bye, bitch.